What's up guys, and welcome back to Software and Hardware Solutions, and today we're talking about Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2. Now, yes ladies and gentlemen, before I jump into this video, I just want to wish everyone a Merry Christmas and that everyone had a beautiful Christmas and is still having a really nice festive season at this very moment. Unfortunately, a lot of people are having a shitty festive season because of Call of Duty, and people are wanting to play this game, but they are having really bad experience with this game. Now, first of all, I just want to go over this over here is the Call of Duty update. This is the update. I'll leave a link in the description down below. It tells you all about the updates that they brought out and what they tried to fix and what they're trying to fix. Now, ladies and gentlemen, I have a lot of members over here. If you want to, you can become an exclusive member on my YouTube channel, and I make exclusive videos, and I will be making more exclusive videos on my YouTube channel for people that really needs fixes, like just guides in general that I'm not going to do for everyday uploads. I'm doing it for members only, so make sure you become a member on my YouTube channel. I will be doing it in this new year that's starting, just in general videos that is more in depth with overclocking and just in general to fix certain problems on machines and stuff like that. You can leave me a comment, all those beautiful things. Just become a member on my YouTube channel and we can talk about things. And yeah, thanks to everyone out there that's members already. I really do appreciate it. Now, yes, ladies and gentlemen, the new update that they brought out, and these small little updates, every time they bring out these small updates and stuff like that, the game breaks even more. And that becomes a really big problem in the game, because every time someone jumps into the game, they're getting less FPS and stuff like that, and it becomes a really big problem inside this game. Alright, so I'll leave a link in the description for this link here. Let's jump straight into this. Alright, so the first thing I highly recommend you go ahead and do is just go to the search button over here, type in settings, just like this, and press enter, and then go to update and security. Now, this is for every single person out there. It doesn't matter if you're running a Windows 11 machine or a Windows 10 machine. I highly recommend you go ahead and check for updates and make sure that your Windows is up to date. Now, sometimes your machine will give you a huge update that will require you to restart your machine. I highly recommend you go ahead and do that. It's very important for you to do that. The next step I highly recommend you go ahead and do is keep your graphics card drivers up to date. If you're an AMD user or an NVIDIA user, go ahead and update your graphics card drivers. Now I'm just going to go to drivers over here with GeForce Experience and click on check for updates, and it will let me know that I have the latest driver installed, which is 527.56. Now, yes, ladies and gentlemen, they will be releasing a new update really soon, and it will be like quite soon that they're going to release it. And most likely, I'm hoping that Call of Duty is going to keep up with this update for NVIDIA and AMD, because currently at this very moment, Call of Duty can't keep up with the GPU drivers updates. Because in general, ladies and gentlemen, Call of Duty, just in general, can't keep up with the updates that NVIDIA is bringing out and AMD. They can't keep up with them. Now, just to be blunt and just blatant and straightforward, the updates that's coming out for your graphics card is not meant for Call of Duty. They're not specifically meant for COD. They're specifically meant for updates for other games that you are playing, not just Call of Duty. Alright, so Call of Duty can't keep up with them, and it's basically a shit show. But just make sure that you have your Windows and your GPU drivers up to date. Please go ahead and do that. It's very, very important. The next step I highly recommend you going ahead and do is just go to the search button over here, and then go to Edit Power Plan. You're going to go to Edit Power Plan, and you can type it in the search bar. Just go here, type Edit Power Plan. I had it over here. And you're going to come inside here, and you're going to go to Power Options, and you're going to go to Create Plan. Now, this is for every user out there. Doesn't matter if you're on a laptop or a desktop machine. Go to High Performance, because you want it to be on high performance. Delete this and just say here, best plan for, let's say, Modern Warfare 2. Just like that. Best plan for Modern Warfare 2. Click Next. Say never, never, and say create. Now you have the best plan for Modern Warfare 2, and you go to change plan settings, go to change advanced power settings, and go inside here. Now this is very important for people out there that's using mechanical drives. If you are one of those people, go ahead and delete everything inside here and type in 0. Now, once you're done with that, you click on anything, and it's going to say turn off hard disk after never. Now, what it will do is it will keep your hard drive constantly working. This is especially useful for people that's running mechanical drives that has a disk inside of it, and they're not using SSDs or M.2s. Now, I don't have a single mechanical drive in my machine at all. Those shit is obsolete. But if you do, go change this to never. I do it as well, and I'm using an SSDs and M.2s. So go ahead and put this on never. It's very important to do this. Once you're done with that, you go to processor power management, go to minimum processor state and put this on 100% and maximum processor state on 100%. If you're on a laptop, it's going to say on battery and plugged in. With plugged in, you put on 100%. On battery, you do not want it to be on 100%. You can, but I don't really suggest it. Maybe put it at 60, 70, there around when it's on battery, all right? Just apply these settings like this and then just say okay, and you're going to close out of this. The next step you're going to need to do is just click on your start button over here and go to settings like this, and you're going to go to gaming. You're going to click on this and you're going to make sure that these things are off. So obviously your Xbox game bar, turn it off. Your captures, I'm just going to show you, turn this off, 30 minutes, off, 30 FPS, standard. Make sure it's on this if you're not using this at all. If you are, then you can play around with this, but I don't use this. If you do use it, you can go ahead and play around with this. Game mode, I highly recommend that you go ahead and turn this on at this very moment for the latest update. Just in general with Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2, it's better to have this on. If you are an NVIDIA user, I don't know if this works for AMD, but you can go ahead and try it. Turn it on and see if it actually works. You're going to go to graphics settings and you're going to come here. Now, this plays a very big role. If you have games inside here, just click on your game and remove them. Remove every single game that you ever put inside here. You do not need it anymore at this very moment. With the latest updates for the graphics card drivers, you don't need this. Because with the latest updates, they actually fix these issues with adding games inside here, not running at the potential that they should, like high performance and stuff like that. This is a very big, important step. By putting this off, hardware accelerated GPU scheduling, I highly recommend that you go ahead and turn it off. Now, if you have yours on and you turn it off, it's going to ask you to restart your computer. Just go ahead and do that once you are done watching my video, because you're going to need to restart your computer in anyways once you are done watching my video. Right, close out of this. Now, this is a very, 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 very important step to do before you play Call of Duty. To be honest with you, this is what you should do before you start playing COD in general. If you're playing Warzone or Modern Warfare 2, this plays a very big role in your game. Okay, so there's 3 steps you're going to need to do. Let me show you the 3 steps. So you're going to press the Windows key in R, or you can go to the search button here and type in run. Okay, then what you're going to do is you're going to type in temp, just like this, and press enter. Click on anything. Press Ctrl and A, highlight everything, press delete on your keyboard, and then say do this on all kind of items, and say continue, and then just say cancel, because Windows is currently using this file over here, so it can't be deleted. Right? Close out of this, go to the search button again, and just type in run, or the Windows and R will bring the same thing up, which is the run tab. You're going to type Shift 5 for the percentage symbol, and type temp, and Shift 5 for the percentage symbol, and press enter. So percentage, temp, percentage, and enter. Control and A over here and highlight everything. Right click on it, just say delete and say continue. Delete everything inside here. Say do this all current items and say try again just once, and then say do this all current items and say skip. Now all of these files over here are being used by Windows, so you can't delete them. So you're going to close out of this and you're going to do this one more time. All right, so you're going to go to run over here, and now you're going to type in prefetch just like this and press enter. Just say continue to this. Click on anything, Control A to highlight everything, right click on it, say delete, and delete everything inside here. Just say do this on all kind of items and say try again. If it doesn't work, do this on all kind of items and say skip. Windows is currently using these 2 files over here. Now what you're going to do is, let me just go find where this is. You're going to go to your recycling bin and then empty your recycling bin and say yes, and say continue. Once you're done with that and you deleted every single thing inside those 3 folders, you are going to restart your computer and then go play Call of Duty. I highly recommend you go ahead and do that. It works for a lot of people. It works for a fuck ton of people. So I highly recommend you go ahead and do that. Do those 3 steps, restart your PC, and then go launch Call of Duty. Now I do this every time I play COD, and it actually does help. It's up to you. You can try it out and you can leave a comment down below if it actually helped for you or not. Okay? It's up to you. So I do that every time I play my Call of Duty. So deleting those files, restarting my PC, coming into Call of Duty and playing it, it actually helps the game run a little bit better. Okay? So I'm just going to open up my game over here and just show you what I'm doing with my current settings. Okay, so I'm doing about 126, 124, 130 as max FPS with my Call of Duty. Now the reason why I have these settings that I'm going to show you now is because the way the game runs with my specific machine, my 9700K RTX 2060 OC and 16 gigs of RAM that's been overclocked, CPU's been overclocked, GPU's been overclocked, and RAM has been overclocked. That's why I tell people become members so I can show you how to do these things, because you can actually get more FPS out of your machine by doing a little bit of tweaks. A lot of people are running way better machines than me, and they are doing 80 FPS, lower, like 70, 60, which is really bad for your machine, and you're running stuff better than mine. Alright, so let's just go over this. We go to the little gear icon over here, and we go to graphics, and we're going to go to quality. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, so once we're in quality over here, so obviously you're going to keep this on custom 100% all the time, so it actually pushes out the resolution of your monitor. Don't drop it down, don't push it up. You can push it up with upscaling and stuff like that, but I highly recommend you just leave it at 100%, so it does your monitor's resolution, okay? So whatever monitor you're running, 1440p, 2K, 4K, whatever the case might be, leave it at 100%. Don't downscale it. Your game's going to look like dog shit, and it's going to look like that. Don't do it. Leave it at 100%. Now, for a lot of people out there at this very moment, with the new update, a lot of people are experiencing a bad experience with NVIDIA DLSS. Now, I always used to use NVIDIA DLSS because I have an RTX graphics card, so I can take advantage of NVIDIA DLSS. So you can go ahead and click on this, and then put this on balanced. Then what it will do is it will balance out your performance, and it will balance out the quality in the game. So it will keep it at a balanced state. Now, if you push this to performance, it will rather make the game look a little bit more shit, but you'll do a better gameplay experience with FPS, okay? Then full ultra performance, your game's not going to look the greatest, but you'll do way more FPS. Now you'll get like a 20 FPS increase by putting this at ultra performance, but trust me, your game's not going to look really, really good. So I highly recommend you put this on balance if you decide to use NVIDIA DLSS. But at this very moment with my RTX graphics card, I use Fidelity FX Cache, and I run it at 60. Now every single person out there has a different type of monitor. They're either playing on a display, which is a laptop display, a monitor, a gaming monitor, G-Sync, FreeSync, whatever the case might be, or even TVs. A lot of people are preferring Fidelity FX Cache. The reason why people are preferring Fidelity FX Cache is it doesn't take a lot of FPS away, and it makes your game really, really sharp, so you can actually see your enemies much, much better. Trust me, this does work. Try it out. It's your own personal preference on what you're actually going to choose inside here. But like I said before, either this, or you're going to be using this, or you're going to turn it off. Okay, but yet again, there's going to be comments asking me, why don't I use this? Because I use this. Now, if there's a certain thing inside there that you're using and it's running perfectly fine on that, then use that for you. But like I said, either NVIDIA DLSS on balanced, Fidelity FX Cache with your own sharpening, or completely turn it off so you don't use any upscaling or sharpening. But at this very moment, everyone is using an upscaling or sharpening to make the game run a little bit better, okay? But it's your own personal preference on what you're going to use here, okay? Anti-aliasing, I do recommend myself. Full make SMAAT 2 times. It does make the game look a little bit better. It doesn't give it jagged edges. As you can see, it actually gives you a preview. This is jagged edges if you put it on this. And this is no jagged edges if you put it on this over here. It makes the game look better. So if your GPU can handle it, and you know it can, put it on this. If your GPU is old and really obsolete, or you know that you have got a really bad card, you can go ahead and put it on this, and you will get an FPS increase. Your game won't look the prettiest, but if you don't care about that, go ahead and put it on SMAAT 2 times, not full make SMAAT 2 times. All right. This anti-aliasing quality, if you are running a really good spec GPU like a RTX 2060 and upwards, then you go ahead and put this on ultra quality just so your game looks a little bit better. I highly do recommend putting this at 90% so it uses all your VRAM. This is for people out there that's running 6 gigs of VRAM of newer generation cards. Now, I'm not talking about an RX 580 with an 8 gig VRAM. I'm not talking about that. If you have an RX 580, for instance, and stuff like that in that generation, go ahead and put it either at 80% or 70%. You do not want to use all of your VRAM on that older generation card because it doesn't use GDDR6, it uses GDDR5 or even lower. So I highly recommend if you're using GDDR6 or higher than that, then go ahead and use it at 90% and you're running a RTX 2060, 2070, and then 30 series and 40 series. Put it at 90%. Anything lower than that, 80% to 70%, you should be good to go. The lower you drop it on the older generation cards, the better your game is going to run. Texture resolution. Now, a lot of people do say that you can just go ahead and put this on low and your game will look exactly the same. Now, that is actually true, but for me, when I put it on normal, I can actually see a little bit more of a visual difference. It does impact FPS. Trust me, you can actually see it on the right-hand side here at the bottom that it uses more VRAM of my GPU. Now, I do have a 6 gig graphics card, so I can put this on normal and it runs perfectly fine with my RTX 2060, but like I said, if you want more FPS, put it at low. There's not a lot of difference. You don't really even notice it. If you're a fast-paced player, whatever the case might be, you won't notice it, okay? I do put mine on normal, and my game runs perfectly fine, and I have all of these on high, 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 and then short, and then low, all right? Then I have this at very low. I have this on. It doesn't impact anything on your game, your GPU, CPU, or RAM. Put it on, it doesn't impact any FPS on your machine performance-wise. This you're going to obviously put off, shader quality at low, tessellation at off. I don't know why the game does this, but for some reason the terrain memory keeps disappearing on mine. I would put it on minimum or max, and it will just disappear. I do highly recommend putting it at max, depending on how much. If you have a really good machine, put it at max. Lower end gen machine, minimum. Now, if it doesn't show you anything like this, like mine right now, no minimum, no max, and it's just missing, leave it like that. Don't choose one. Just leave it. Okay? Because this game's really fucked up. Okay, on-demand texture streaming, you can put this on if you have a really good internet connection. What it will do is it will download your textures on the fly from the internet. That's if you have a very fast internet connection. I do have a fast internet connection, and I would recommend putting this on for myself, but I don't because with the settings I'm using right now, my game runs perfectly fine with Modern Warfare 2. Alright, so streaming quality, obviously on low, you don't need this. Volumetric quality, obviously at low, you do not need this as well. Physics quality, completely off, you do not need this. Water acoustics, you do not need this at all, so completely turn it off. And then these play a very big role inside this game's just performance-wise. So shadow map resolution low, screen space shadows low, spot shadow quality low, spot cache high. You're going to leave this at high. The reason why people are leaving this at high or on ultra is because it gives you less input latency inside the game, and it does work. This is why this option's here. So I do recommend you that you go ahead and put this at high. You do not need to put it at ultra. You don't have to. Okay? Particle lighting low. Ambient occlusion completely off unless you want your game to look a little bit better and you have a really good GPU. Then you can go ahead and put this on both. That's if you have a really good GPU. But this is an FPS boost guide video, so go ahead and turn this off. Screen space reflections off. Static reflection quality low. Weather grid volumes off. You do not need to see the wind in the game at all, like sand blowing around. You do not need to see that. Unless you're playing a single player game, then I would recommend to put it on. But this is a multiplayer game, turn it off. On plus boost, off, 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 and then this film grain all the way to 0.00. Right now at this very moment, these are the best settings for quality inside your game in Modern Warfare 2 with this latest updates. Now obviously you can go ahead and copy my view settings, but it's your own personal preference. I can't tell you what to do inside here. I physically can't tell you what to do because it's your own personal preference and what you're going to do here. Right? So this is my personal preference, and I actually have been gaming for years, and I've been gaming like this for years. So I'm so used to it. Now, it's your own personal preference on what you're going to do here. Literally, it's your own personal preference. Once you're done with that, you're going to go to display, and this plays a very, very important role on your game. You're going to click on Restart Shader Optimization and going to say yes to it, apply it, then go out of the game, quit the game, restart your computer, and come back into the game. Launch your game. If it asks you, would you like to run your game in safe mode, say no. If you say yes, all the settings you just changed now will not apply in your game, and it will go back to its default settings. Right, something I do want to just show you guys as well is this over here. Plays a very big role in this game, it really does, is the color customization. It makes the game pop, and it makes the game look really, really good while playing the game itself in color-wise. So I highly recommend that you go ahead and put this at filter 2, this on both, and these at both at 100%. Leave this at this, and then when you see enemy, I highly recommend that you go ahead and actually put this on like purple. This actually does help a lot. Now you can do this custom color, right? So you click on custom color, then you put the saturation all the way up, make sure that the brightness is all the way up, and then you're going to apply this. Make your enemy purple, or basically pink. It's going to stand out a lot when you see an enemy. Trust me. As you can see here, these are like your teammates and stuff like that, and the people in your squad, or whatever the case might be. Look how hectic the enemies are standing out now, as you can see. So I highly recommend that you go ahead and put this at pink, because pink is not a natural color in the game. There's nothing in this game that's fucking pink. Maybe a gun skin, that's about it. But an enemy, I highly recommend you go ahead and put this on pink. Ladies and gentlemen, if this worked for you, leave a like, leave a comment, subscribe to my YouTube channel if you're new here. And ladies and gentlemen, if you want to support my YouTube channel and see exclusive videos, become a member on my YouTube channel. And I hope you guys enjoy your Christmas, your festive season, and I hope this video helped you guys out. And as always, peace